What's going on, people? We are back with another video. Today we've got Luisa. Now, Luisa was a part of the most recent season of Single Life. In that season, she was partnered up with Tim, and then also around the tail area, it looked as if her and Jamal was going to walk away, but that definitely wasn't the case. But throughout this season, we experienced what she went through with Tim, and also when it came to the tail all, we also experienced what she went through with Veronica. My apologies. And because of everything that was gone down, there's a lot of things that we didn't see, a lot of things that were manipulated from Louisa's view. So now we're going to go through those things and obviously break down her experience with Tim, Jamal, with Veronica, and pretty much just the whole 90-day experience, and obviously what her life has been like since then. So with that being said, Luisa, let's start off with how did you and Tim meet? How do you know Tim?
Well, thank you for having me here, first of all. And well, that was like literally what happened when they show like they show to us. We met online, like almost it was in the 2020. I will say January 2020. We met online and we started talking. So that was like the truth. We met that time, and I was presently like separate, and he was like having a break, and he broke up with his girl in that time. So we just coincidence like matching online, and that's where we started talking.
Okay, so so obviously you met in 2020, and then you talked for a little bit. So how did you then end up on 90 Day with Tim?
So we started like trying to date at the time. So we started like talking every day. We're started like trying to meet each other, trying to talk, try to know the person. And I remember that I guess it is the start of the pandemic in that time. So we were like close and talking about that. Then after I think that he just went back with his girl, and of course it didn't happen more. We didn't have like we never meet personally, we never nothing. And then I just meet another person, and that's it. However, in all these years we keep the contact and we talk. Not like nothing romantically, of course, because he was with a person and I was with a person, of course. And but still we talk, and he tell me, and we talk about his life, about my life, about our things, about our relationships, our jobs, our everything. So that's why at the beginning when I met him, he proposed me to be in the show. And of course, we didn't have any relationship at that time. So I was, of course, no, then we are in a horrible situation. We are emotional unstable. So this is not going to happen. However, he mentioned that a lot of times when we talk, but it was never like a real thing, especially because I didn't want to be part of that because I'm not in that world. So I know that you need to be like stronger and a little bit dramatic and a lot of things that I wasn't able to do that.
Okay, so once you obviously started to be on the show with Tim, would you say that your experiences with him on the show were different to your experiences from what you knew of him personally before? Because of course, when we saw you two on the show, your energy was that you wanted him, but his energy was that he wanted to stay reserved. He wanted to stay. He wanted to kind of play. I wouldn't say play hard to get, but the way he was very off. The way you was very on. So was you expecting that type of energy from Tim, or is that not how things went down in reality?
Oh, not at all. Because if you want to be with me or if you want to date me, that's not the energy that I'm waiting for you. Either way, if it's in front of the cameras or if it's not on the cameras. So when that happened, that he was like that and he was complaining about everything and then he was acting like another person. So what happened when we talk, when we were now in the cameras, he was just trying to say this is nice, I'm going to protect you, everything is going to be okay, everyone is going to love you, you are a sweet person, you are polite, you are charismatic, you are no aggressive, you are no rude, so everything is going to be okay. So when I decide to be part of this, I say, okay, I'm not going to do this because another motivations more that I really care about you. And you know that. So if you are offering me this, I'm going to say yes because, okay, I don't think that nothing horrible is going to happen. And I really care about you, so I want to do this with you. But the person that you are when we were in a date, it was another terrible person. It was like a character, right? So I'm used to date beautiful ladies, but I'm going just sitting here and complaining about everything. And that was my point. If you are dating me, how possible is that you are complaining because it's too hot? Of course, you have a hoodie in a 90 degrees and you don't want me to be too close to you because you are sweating, of course. Then we have a lot of dates and they didn't show that, unfortunately. That's what people say. I don't understand that you were like you were and then you were upset. If you were right there for 15 seconds, they don't show our dates. They don't show our conversation. They didn't show the reality.
So your relationship with Tim now?
We don't talk anymore because so during our dates, he was very nice to me. He was very sweet. He was trying to protect me when we were on the camera. And when we were not on the camera, we didn't talk at all. So in that time, we were like I told you, after the first day, we have a beautiful date right here in a popular park. And they bring me flowers and it was magical. It was romantic for me. I was happy. Whatever it's going to give me, if it's romantic or not, I'm so excited because this never happened to me. It was a romantic day. And he was nice. He was nice in the time. However, he was telling me all the time, like, don't just do whatever I say to you. Don't do whatever, don't try to listen to them because they are trying to manipulate it. They are trying to play with your brain and you don't want that. Just listen to me because I'm the person that know. And of course, I'm going to listen to you. What else I'm going to listen? I'm going to trust you. I'm going to believe you because I'm here because of you. Not because of money, not because of followers, not because of anything. So in that time that happened, and I was okay, this is nice, this is beautiful, this is going to be okay. I'm just going to be the silly, sweet woman that he is with him, but he doesn't want to kiss. That's it, right? After we finish those dates, I remember that we didn't talk anymore because, of course, he wasn't available for any relationship. And at this point, I think that he just need a person that's sitting there so they can really show the drama that he has with Veronica or whatever. But it wasn't the point. It wasn't our text, the real point. For me, I was whatever. I was okay with that in that moment. After that, we didn't talk anymore. And I remember that that happened in May. Yeah. Then I remember that in October he called me and he was like trying to say, like always, no, like, hey, we need to talk because something big is coming. Maybe you are going to be invited to this place, to this salon. I want you to be there because you were part of my story. I don't want to go because I don't have anything to say. Nothing. What I'm going to say? That we don't date anymore, that we don't talk anymore, that we are friends. So he was, yeah, but I really want you to be there. And like always, like, I have plans. We need to talk. I'm going to teach you this. I'm planning to go on a cruise and I want you to go with me. Not because of the intention, it's because every time that he was looking for me to do something, he was bringing positive things for me and nice things I'm trying to play. And I leave him to do that.
I mean, it sounds as if potentially he was using your company. Like, so each time he needed something from you, he would use you to benefit from whatever he was doing. So pretty much bring you onto the single life in the first place was to, well, one, to allow him to be on the show, two, to obviously have someone on the show, so therefore he has a relevance. But then to make it worse, the way you was then treated, obviously based on, and when I say the way you was treated, I'm talking about how the production obviously was done based on your character, and also of course the scenes that we saw that were quite uncomfortable scenes where he was quite upfront with Tim in terms of how he felt, but with him himself, he was very standoffish. I mean, listen, the scene where you go for the first kiss, that was one of the most awkward scenes I've ever seen, to be honest. And when I was watching it, I was thinking to myself, if I was Louisa in that moment in time, I can't imagine how I would feel. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I felt like it was low key a little bit degrading. Do you know what I mean? As if like you're not worth, something as simple as just a kiss. And it's one of those things where, he's got options. We all have options. He could have either said no, I don't want to kiss straight away because I'm not into you, or he could have been saying, listen, yes, of course I want to kiss. He was very like in the middle, tick for tack. And some people defended his actions, saying, yeah, but this is how Tim is. But my point of view was, listen, it's not nice to play with someone's emotions like that, because at the end of the day, in this world, as far as, especially from my experience, women generally want to know whether or not you want them or you don't want them. There's no time for games. There's no time for, taking your time. And usually when you do that, usually you're really messing up with their mental health.
Yeah.
So so with that being said, in that scene itself of him being awkward with the kiss, how was you feeling in that moment? I mean, to be fair, was that moment even real, or was that moment like forced by the production?
It was forced. It was absolutely forced because they said everything is so boring. He's not going to kiss you. He's not going to touch you. I don't know why. We don't know why he's being like this. I have no idea. Don't ask me because I have no idea. But maybe, and I'm not going to do that. I mean, I'm trying to be sweet. I'm trying to be myself, right? I don't want any drama. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just dating him because that's the purpose of this. Dating him. You invite me here to date you. What I'm going to do? Date you, trying to know you, try to respect you, trying to have a beautiful time to you, trying to be too close to you. I'm not doing something, nothing is different. But if you are going to force me, I'm going to be like, I'm not trying to do this. I don't want to do it. However, at the end of the day, I was Veronica and you know what happened. He's like that. He's very different. When I met him, I kiss him. At the end, I was okay. I will try. I will try because I want to do this work. Right? I'm trying. And I said in the interviews, this is going to be my last time because I have been super patient, super sweet. I have been sitting right here talking to him, listening, complaining about everything. And it was like our 4th day. So I tell them, I'm done. After this night, I'm done. I'm not going to be here anymore. So this is my last try. So what I did, I was, okay, I'm comfortable. For me, it wasn't like horrible. Like when I saw that, of course, it was horrible. It was horrible to watch. But in that moment for me, it was like, okay, I finally got my kiss. Hey, that's what I think at that moment.
I mean,
yeah, when I saw that, was Jesus Christ.
I completely get it. So tell me about Veronica. What was her involvement? Just everything, because obviously, when each time we saw Veronica, each time we saw you, Tim, Veronica, Jamal, Veronica was very, very vocal with a lot of things. So, tell me about your experience with Veronica on the show as well as also off.
Well, in the show, well, I was with her like literally twice. The day when I met Tim personally, and our double date. That was it. She was very nice to me. She was very sweet. She was literally like she was there, and when we have our dinner, it was like kind of a little uncomfortable because of course she loves attention and she loves to speak, and she was trying to talk about teen, and when we were together, and the part when he asked her how I want to order my steak or whatever. So of course Jamal and we were absolutely uncomfortable. We were. I was thinking why in that moment they didn't show this, but one moment Tim went to the bathroom, then Veronica went to the bathroom, and Jamal and we were like, okay. So I told Jamal, then I'm going to the bathroom and you're going with me to the bathroom too. because it's so weird, of course. But she wasn't rude to me. She just was trying to like advise to me how he is. He's a good person. He's just slow. Maybe you need to try. Like, I did this. I kiss him all the time. Yeah. And I told her that day. Of course, they didn't share this, but I said, I don't want to be like you, right? Because I don't want to be with a person where I need to do everything. I need something mutual. And I respect if that was your relationship, but that's not mine. I'm not going to kiss you. I'm not going to force him. I'm not going to be slow, and I'm not going to do whatever you do, because if you want to be in a relationship, you need to be open and you need to be flexible. It's not just about you. That I don't like to kiss. I don't like to be touched. I don't like to go out. I don't like to dance. I don't like anything. I don't want to be that person. And at that point, I was very annoyed at the time. Of course.
I can only imagine. So, I'm assuming that you don't have a relationship with Veronica now. You don't speak to
No, we don't. During the show, that was our time together. Then of course, we have like this cordial relationship. And for social media, you put comments. That's it. We never talk. We never call. We never went out. The only time that we went out was that day after we meet personally, that we get drawn, and that happened. But that's it. Then when I was in the tell-all that this situation happened, I say what I say, and after that, she didn't talk to me anymore. I mean, I say didn't talk. It just likes and comments. That's it. Because what I say. Because they were expecting me to be in their side.
And this was at the tell-all. They were expecting you to be on their side.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember at the tell-all, you and Jamal pretty much went against those two. You both pretty much said that whenever you spend time individually with, so for example, when you spent time with Tim, all he did was talk and complain about Veronica. Jamal said whenever he was with Veronica, all she ever did was complain about Tim. So, but I guess at that moment in time, they were both blindsided because they expected you to pretty much let's look at it this way. Tim pretty much recruited you to be on the show to basically make him look like Tim, basically. So he was expecting you to, to continue doing that, despite the fact that from throughout the season, when we did see you and Tim together, he was pretty much made to look like, look like as if like you was desperate for him, and as if you wasn't seeing that he wasn't into you, if you know what I mean. So, but to be fair, me personally, it basically exposes what I've always basically thought, and that is that Tim thinks very highly of himself. And for me personally, I am not necessarily a fan of people who think very highly of themselves, because it means that they lack being humble, and they also lack how their actions can affect other people. So with that being said, because obviously you was on the show to basically support him, what has been your experience in terms of social media? Like, have you been like, how are people towards you? Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, some people when they go on the show, they'll then get a lot of hate, or some people get a lot of praise. What has been your experience on social media based on you being on the show?
Well, my experience at the beginning, it was absolutely beautiful, because everyone was in love with me, just because they showed that I was sweet, that I was patient, that I was trying to kiss him, that I was trying to make that everything works for him, for our relationship. I didn't have any concern. They were super nice. They were super sweet. Then everything exploded when they showed that I was with Jamal. Of course, everything changed. And at the beginning, it was like you said, he was just literally recruiting me to have a person that he knows perfectly that she's not going to do anything that I don't want her to do. And that was me at the time. What happened? That after our days, I decided that you are not being a good person with me. You are using me, and that's not fair, because I'm doing this because of you. So at that moment, I'm not comfortable anymore. And after what he did, that trying to set up something beautiful, he set up a day, and next day, like always, he say, I'm sorry. He didn't say I'm sorry. He said, I'm sick. But then before the tell-all, he told me and he say, I need to know if you are going to be in the tell-all. I said, I don't know. I don't want to talk to you because the last time that we talked, you trying to give me beautiful things, beautiful plans, because you want me to be there in the tell-all, and then you say, I'm sick. So I don't want to talk to you because you are a rude person. You are not my friend. You are not respecting my person, my feelings, or my time. So I don't want to talk to you. And he said, well, that's a shame because if you don't want to talk to me, you cannot be with me in television.
I mean,
And I was, that's great. Please call the network, the company, and say that cancel everything because Luisa doesn't want to tell you if she's going to go to the tell-all. And then he said, I don't know who think who you are. This is not your show. They don't care about you. You are here because of me. And I was, you are not, this is not a favor. This, if it's a favor, it's a favor for you because you are the famous, you are the celebrity. I'm Luisa. I have a regular life and I have a regular job. So I don't want to talk to this. At least that you are going to play for all. You're going to play for my hotel, for my expenses, for my dress, for my makeup. No. So I don't want to talk to you, and it's okay. I'm not going to be on TV with you. Do whatever you do. Cancel everything. Cancel the show. So at that point, when I was in the tell-all, of course, I was already absolutely upset with him. That's not the person that I meet before the show. That's not the person that bring me to the show. This is the person that is just manipulating, and he's just waiting for me to do whatever he want me to do. So that for me, that was absolutely terrible. How possible it says, so you cannot be on TV with me when you know that my reason wasn't followers, wasn't anything like that. You know? And all these situation that I'm telling you, I just say this in the tell-all, but of course they don't want to share this.
now, of course, because obviously they have to produce it however they see fit. So what was your relationship like with Jamal? So obviously, what was your experiences with Jamal?
So my experience with him, so that happened. I was in the I was in the hotel the night before on the tell-all, and it was very funny too because I remember that someone said, "Don't say anything," but I saw Luisa and Jamal together in the restaurant. Some person said that, and I was.
I think that was who said that. Wasn't Veronica? No, it was ah. I'll remember because I remember seeing the episode, but going carry on.
So that person said that, and it was very funny because she said like, "Oh, I saw them. Yeah, you saw them because we were together in the same table. We worked all together. I was with her mom, with the makeup artist, with all we were together. So they just start making this up the night before because they are they are working and they know how to do their work. They know how to do everything. And we were just here, right there. Let that everything is playing, everything is put in right there, and we are just there. So of course we were there, and that night we were start talking about this, that we are talking about the experience, about our double date, and of course we were like, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. They are like this, they are like that. Of course we have a connection because we just live and we understand each other and how comfortable and how a situation was. And we already know them and we already know how their relation is. But it's different, this relation that they have here on TV, and it's different, the relation that they have here in their real life. So of course we were like, in that time we have the connection. And he's a nice guy. I think that he's nice, he's sweet, he's easygoing, and now I was the same. And of course, I really appreciate that I have the support to have someone right there. When the day before, this person say, if you don't want to tell me, you cannot be with me in TV, and being so rude to me, knowing my motivation for being here, for being there, and exposure my life. Of course, I was so grateful that I had this guy next to me. I was absolutely, oh my gosh, thank you so much, because I was here by myself without knowing what is going to happen, trying to tell my truth. But at that moment, I was already very emotional. And I was in shock with everything, with all the situation. But that was our relationship. So of course we drank a lot, we were party, of course. And I don't see anything wrong with that.
No,
Absolutely.
there's nothing wrong with you. You know what I mean? I think it was just important to ask, so therefore you could at least clarify with us what the relationship you actually had with Jamal, because a lot of people obviously had their own speculations. You know, obviously myself included. And from what I remember now, it was Chantel. I remember now who said that she saw you too. Da, 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 da. And then
Yeah,
of course the production team at the end of the tell then done like a little voiceover of you and Jamal behind these closed things, and obviously that's something else that then instigated people to think that maybe something maybe had gone on with you and Jamal. But based on what you're telling me though, Tim is the one that brought you on the show, but sadly he then didn't protect you from the ins and outs of what's going to happen. But luckily Jamal was then there to at least be someone, you know, to obviously
exactly.
be there for you, which is fantastic. It's good to know that
Yeah,
there are some people from the show who have a good heart. You know what I mean? Because obviously there's a lot of people that I think us viewers, when we watch them, we already know that these people can't be good people. But then there's some people we watch them, we're like, you know what? These people must be good people. It's good to know that at least you had somebody who did, somebody completely random, but at least he was there to be a nice person. Do you know what I mean? Which is
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
So the last thing I'm going to ask you is, in terms of your mental health, how was being in the show affected?
It was, to be honest, it had been horrible because of this situation, because of what I say, because I know that I was very emotional, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to deliver my real message, that the really feelings that I was trying to deliver. I wasn't able to do it. Plus, they didn't share what I was trying to say. So for me, it was a mess. And after him, like, look at this reaction that I was, you are a horrible human, you are a bully, you lose everything, you lose Veronica. We are not going to give you 10,000 followers. Absolutely, things that you really say. Are you really being this person with me? So of course I was in a horrible, 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 horrible depression. I will say that since December until these days, it's affected me a lot, because it's too easy for people to say, you know the person who you are, so just don't listen, just don't pay attention. It's too easy, and I got it. I'm not going to pay attention. But at the end of the day, we are human beings. And of course I'm going to be exposed. And of course I have a regular job in the office, and I know that people is watching the show, and unfortunately I know how the dynamic is. So it's not for me too easy, or for you too easy to say don't pay attention to them. I'm not going to pay attention, but at some point I'm going to start, like, looking at myself and trying to regret to be able to do that, trying to regret to expose myself, to be on TV, to do this, if didn't work at all. So of course they put you in a bad place when you start, like, being so hard with yourself. And that was the point when I have been, like, super affected. I wasn't like I wasn't I have been super, 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 super depressed, super anxious. I have a panic attack that day on the tell. That's why when he say it's okay, I got your back, because I was having a panic attack. It's not because we having a romantic relationship. He was just trying to support me in that moment, because I was freaking out at the moment. I'm not going to be able to do this, because this is not my life. This is a new thing for me. I'm just trying to give you my message. I'm just trying to say whatever you are doing is not correct. And I didn't take the right decision for being here and be part of this show, but I'm having a panic attack. That's why he just support me in that moment. So it has been terrible. It has been very, very brutal with me, very cruel, all the situation. And yeah, I'm not going to lie, I have to take therapies after that. I was in the hospital one day, because at one point I was like, oh my gosh, I can't with all this. All this. It was a lot. And but people doesn't realize that. And it's very interesting, because all the time it's like, oh my gosh, you are so beautiful, you are on TV, you need to take advantage of that, you need to be in another show, you need to talk about this. I didn't want to talk about this situation, just because I wasn't able to do it. Because a lot of people was, why you don't tell the truth? Why you don't say your part? Why you don't have like interviews? Because I don't want it, because I don't feel ready, because this really affecting my mental health. So right now it's like finally I'm able to talk a little bit more and trying to not combine the people or not trying to people to change their mind, but there is both two sides, two parts on every story. And the story that is beautiful, that they are perfect, that they are nice, that everything was real, it's not like that. This is a monster. And if you are not able to do it, you cannot be there. Just don't do it, because this is going to affect you a lot. And I really admire when all these people that they are there and they are season after season after season. I was like, Jesus Christ, I really admire you. I don't know how you do it, but okay, I'm going to be honest with you. It's not just me or some people that is living and is showing off this depression and this whole anxiety. It's everyone that is right there. The problem is that people all the time, this is beautiful, they like the famous, they like the celebrity style, and this is perfect, and it's not like that. It's not like that. It's just appearance, because I have talked with a lot of people, and they say the same that I'm telling you. But I can be here telling you I have been so depressed and I have been so affected. They say, no, who cares? Nobody cares about this. It is just a show, it's a reality TV. But I know how people suffer because of this. I have experienced that, and I have willing that, not just for me. But no one is willing to say that this is not as beautiful as is showing, on TV. It's not like that. It's not like that.
I mean, so what would you say affected you most? Would you say it was the way the production team, like, would you say it? Okay, so it can go one or two ways. It's either one, your depression could have been, or your mental health could have been affected based on how Tim treated you in terms of how he didn't support you, or would you say it was more affected because of the way the show portrayed your character, or does it go hand in hand?
Yeah, it was a combination. It was a combination of how he treated me, how he um like turn off the things, how was ending everything just because I didn't want to do what he wanted me to say, and how they show like how they show, like you said, betray me. Because at the end of the day, and especially with the last car, I feel very, very, very affected for that, because first of all, the conversation that happened, it never happened like that. He never have a dressing room. So it wasn't nothing that you are catching right there, because that never happened. And second of all, you are talking about something that is very, very delicate. Maybe you don't realize. But like for me, like a woman, if we have a conversation where you are telling me that you have sex with me, and I'm telling you I don't remember, that's a delicate situation. And neither me, when I saw that, I was, I can't believe they did this. Do you really use this? They sexualize everything. Even in the tell-all, I never talk about having sex with Tim. I never talk about anything. And they were like, oh, it's because she's upset because Tim doesn't want to have sex with her. They just put everything, and that sexualize me. Even if I have sex with Jamal, I will have any problem if they ask me, do you sleep together? I will say yes, because we are single, because since 7 months ago, we didn't have any relation with him. He's single, we are young, I like him, whatever. But don't put that situation like that, especially if you are going to show that I don't remember. I have received a lot, especially for women, trying to say, you were abused. It's okay. Just go on TV and say that it's okay, and you need to take actions. Because if you don't remember, this is sexually abuse. How you are going to put that on TV? how you are going to make all this situation like this, and how you are going to expect that I'm going to be okay, I'm super happy, and I don't want to talk about that because I don't want to close the door, because that's what I tell you. First of all, you cannot talk about, because you are not supposed to say anything. And second of all, you don't want to close the door. Do I really need to have an open door for the neighbor that is treating me like this, that put me in that very sensitive situation? So in that point, I was like, even just in case that is true, how possible you are going to say that he said saying we have sex and we have a beautiful night, and I'm going to respond, yeah, but I don't remember anything.
That doesn't make sense, and it doesn't sit right, because that's a very odd thing to do, you know, because at the end of the day, let's say something did happen where you actually didn't remember something. That is messed up. That is completely messed up, you know.
Exactly.
Sadly, annoyingly, it doesn't surprise me, you know, that this is something that they would do, you know, which is very, very messed up. I mean, okay, so this is what I'm gonna say though to everyone here, you know. So Louise obviously went on the show because Tim wanted to come on the show with him. Obviously, he had a storyline. Now, we obviously witnessed how that storyline went down. In terms of the storyline, we saw, of course, that Tim was very standoffish and Louisa was pretty much quite honest and open about her intentions at the time based on the characters that they were pretty much trained. But the matter of the fact is, though, when the cameras wasn't on, Tim had a responsibility, in my humble opinion, because he brought Louisa on the show, he had a responsibility to at least look after her based on obviously the mental health side of things, and obviously how things can go south, because he's been in the show for multiple seasons, so he knows how the show can be produced. He knows obviously how things can be manipulated. He knows how there's always going to be a good person and a bad person. And really and truly, if you're going to bring someone on the show for the purpose of being on the show, then at least be there to at least give them the arm around the shoulder. Don't use them, you know what I mean? Don't treat them as if they're less than, because the reality is this: there are people who go in the show who are genuine people, and some people go on the show because they want to boost their careers. Some people go on the show because they just want to help their friend. The matter of the fact is, though, if you're gonna go on the show to just help a friend, at least be there to look after them, because this is enough is enough. And I think in this situation, it's not even a case where I can sit and say that this is necessarily Sharp Entertainment's fault per se, because at the end of the day, Tim took the responsibility of bringing Louise on the show, knowing that the show is going to definitely manipulate the storyline however they see fit. And of course, because he's a veteran, they obviously manipulated in a way that made him look better than what he looked like. And honestly, it's becoming quite disgusting that nowadays we are watching shows where people are not protected in terms of their own mental health. And when I say protected, what I mean is there were different options. Either one, they can put a disclaimer at the very beginning saying, "Hey guys, we know this is reality TV, but it is still edited in a way to entertain you guys." You know what I mean? Or if you're gonna bring someone on the show, at least make sure that it's for them rather than leave them to just be feeling depressed and feeling. Honestly, I'm just becoming exhausted and tired with just the experiences that I'm now listening to, you know, because it's not fair, it's ridiculous. And for me personally, as someone that reviews this of the show, I enjoy reviewing the show and I enjoy breaking down obviously the dynamics between the relations and whatnot. But at the same time, though, it's no fun and it's not excitement if you know that behind closed doors, some of these people are being affected not by choice; they've been affected because of, well, I'm gonna call it borderline bullying, because bringing someone on the show is different to someone bringing themselves on the show. So let's say, for example, I and Louise decided to go on the show and we chose to go on the show because it's like we're doing a long distance thing. That's kind of different. But if I'm bringing you on the show because I'm already on the show, at least protect that person because you know about the darkness that's gonna come if you dig what I'm saying. But either way, though, the good thing is at least Jamal was there for you. Before we finish the video, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, I just want to make clear something clear too, because I know that affect me. The time when I called him that he was gay, that was another problem with him, because he said that because of that I lose everything. I lose him because I insult him, because I was homophobic, because I was a bully, because I was a horrible person. My point in that time, it wasn't, I don't care what your orientation is. I'm okay with that. I'm not trying to be homophobic. I'm not trying to be bullied. It's okay. My point is, and I told that, of course, they didn't share that. Don't play with people, with my feelings, with my time, with the person that really cares about you. You can play with everyone, but don't bring this situation for the people that really cares about you and support you and listen all your mess and all your drama and all your depression over and over and over and over. So he treat me like a bully. And this is all, I have all the texts because this is why he wasn't in the phone. I have all the conversations. So I know what I'm doing and I know what I'm saying. And I have all the conversation because that happened in WhatsApp. So my point, it wasn't, I'm not saying you are gay because you are gay. And I'm trying to be horrible, homophobic. No, that was not my point. I was absolutely affected because whatever your orientation is, whatever your purpose is, you are affecting me and another people and my time and my feelings. And that's not correct. That's not right. That's not fair for you to do to anyone. That was my point. I wasn't trying to be mean. I wasn't trying to say because you are gay, because you are gay, because you are gay. And at the end of the day, I mean, it's his character. So I didn't say anything that different. He was just very affected because I did whatever I want to do. I wasn't listening. He wasn't my boss anymore. That's why he was so upset. And that's why he said, I'm not going to talk to you. No, we are not going to give you the attention. You never exist here because you betrayed me, because you are not my friend, because you are not my real friend, because I did a lot of things for you. Because this is like you know how many people wish to be here in TV? So if a lot of people, why you bring a lady like that? You bring me because you know my feelings and you know the person who I was. But you weren't expecting that at the last time I was like, okay, I want to stand by myself. It is what it is. And I was scared. I'm going to tell you, I was scared at the beginning to talk about this. Because I know that probably his reaction is going to say, I don't know, horrible things. And something that I want to say too, he texts me, I have 200 episodes how to destroy people. So Luisa, if I want to destroy you, trust me, it's because I don't want to destroy you. And I have that in my WhatsApp. At the beginning, trust me, I was so scared. I was, oh my gosh. Plus all the drama I have to handle to whatever this guy is going to say about me. What is the horrible things that you are going to say about me? That I call you gay, that I'm a bully, that I'm a horrible person, that I was sweet, that I forced you to kiss me. What else you are going to say? That I don't care about this, that I in the WhatsApp, in our conversations, he said, I can give you 10,000 followers. I don't care. I don't know what I'm going to do with 10,000 followers because I really care about you. And I'm not lying with this. So it's like, oh my gosh, I realize now after all this, the person who you were. And that's what that's the part that really affects me more than whatever they show, because of the intentions where I participate in this. And it wasn't good at all. So I think that's the worst part. And that's the situation that people can understand, because people got so passionate about this. Like, you have no idea. I was never imagined that this will be so popular. Like, even I don't talk about this. I don't talk. At the beginning, I didn't want to post anything in my Instagram. I didn't want to talk about that. I was so embarrassed. I was so ashamed. Like, I don't want to be related with this. And then I realized that it's right there. It's going to be there. So, okay, I'm going to just let it go and move with the flow. However, I start receiving a lot of things, and I'm not going to lie. I feel so thankful for everything and for all the people that is supporting me. Even they were able to watch the real risk and the real situation. But still, I have a lot of people that is supporting me. Yesterday, I received a letter, and I was surprised because they were telling me, thank you for being the person that you were, because I could really see that you really care about the things that you are doing, and I really admire you, the people that you are. And for me, that was like, I was in shock about that. Even you don't realize the person who I am and what I did. And so I just want to be clear with this. And even I think that he thought that it will worse, because he said now is going to be by yourself. People is going to hate you. I'm here, and I think that now I'm better. And if you are not here with me, it's because this is the reality. You were not my friend. You just use me. You just need me. And when you realize that you cannot use me and you don't need me anymore, you just leave. And if you left, I'm happy that you are not here in my life. And if you are ready to expose me and destroy my life because you have a lot of experience, just do it. Just do it.
Wow. Wow. I mean, I'm still trying to process just the book itself in particular of ways to destroy someone. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. See, the most funny part is that I have it in my WhatsApps. It's like maybe Luisa is lying, or maybe she's making up the stories. No, no, guys. So it's like literally don't talk because I can destroy you. That was and that works for me. On these months, I was, oh my gosh, I'm a horrible human. What I said this, he was I was not a nice person with me, and I have friends that, of course, they were with me on this situation, and at the beginning they say, I don't think that you need to do this, because I don't think that this is going to be correct.
Give me 1 second. My eye. Give me 1 second. Okay, so Louise obviously came here today to have her say and obviously have her side of the story. Now, I am going to say this though. Her intentions wasn't to necessarily put blame onto Tim or even necessarily put blame on the show. It was more to just let people know that if it's more to bring awareness to the fact that she was brought on the show to help someone who she thought was a good person, but it turned out that this person was only looking to use her and not to protect her. But at the same time, though, throughout the experience of being on the show, she was still at least able to meet someone nice. Obviously, that person being Jamal. And generally speaking, I know some people are going to think that maybe her agenda was to just have evil intentions against Tim or maybe against Veronica, whatnot, which wasn't the case. It's more the case of the fact is when people go on this show, people are affected with their health. And I believe that it is more important for more people to come out, speak out about their experiences about when they go on the show. And therefore, maybe this could create a universe where when the reality TV shows are done, there can be a disclaimer at the very beginning to at least let people know that, hey, what you're seeing is reality, but also at the same time, it has been produced in a way, so therefore it is entertaining. For example, when we watch like films or TV shows that's based on true events, it always says based on true events, but some scenes have been dramatized for our entertainment. It'd be good if that happens, so therefore at least people like Louisa, when they go on the show, they won't be affected so much that it ends up with mental health, and therefore they fall into a depression. Because had this now today with Louisa. We had the same thing, obviously, with Riley before. And obviously, I believe this is something that probably happens with so many other people who we probably see come on the show and never return. Obviously, the people that go on the show and return and time again, clearly they're in a good place. I don't know. But either way, though, I just think it's important to get more people to speak out, and that's that. So, in my opinion, despite whether you agree with Louise or not, people should still be looking on the side of, listen, let's not hate, let's just understand, but we can still have our opinions of where we disagree, but respectful. At least that's my standpoint anyway. But with that being said, Louisa, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming out. And honestly, I'm just happy that you're in a better place. And most importantly, I'm happy that you was in the place where you finally found the strength to actually speak your piece. So at least now it's so much.
I mean, here for giving me the time, and definitely agree with you. This is not against him, against Veronica, against Jamal, against the show. Is this my part of the story, because I was part of, and of course I have my story too, and this is important. And of course I know that a lot of people is living the same situation. So sometimes it's just good to hear the other part. Even you are agree with me, you are not, you don't have to, but it's just okay to listen the other story. And I think that right now I deserve that, and I need it. And thank you so much for listening to me.
Okay, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and